the water. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Right now, we're at the Royal Nairobi Golf Club. You can see the setup is different, and so is the vibe. You know, when I keep saying my story, Africa is evolving, we're growing, we're exploring different things. Some of you may wonder, what do you mean? Well, today is an example of that. Today we are doing this on the course. Part of the things that I like to do on my free time is to play golf, and I have been getting into it over the course of 2025. My family has been playing golf for many, many years. My dad has been playing golf since before I was born, and so we are a family of the sport. We love the sport, and the key things that I would say are key principles for the sport. So I would say one, patience is a big virtue in this game. Also, I'm left-handed, so you might notice that my grip might be a bit different. The second thing that I think is crucial for you to know in this sport is being able to have resilience, because you're going to be walking for nothing less than 8 kilometers in a good golf course if you're doing 18 holes. And so today I'm going to be talking to you guys about some strategies that you can use to help grow your business, and that is through marketing, content marketing, distribution, and just being more strategic in how you think about it as you scale. I think a lot of startup founders usually fall into this trap of just focusing on the product, which is true, you should focus on the product, but distribution is equally as important. And so right now, I'm going to strategically try and pat this ball there, and then we'll get into the tips that I have for you. If you're a golf professional, move to the side. Oh, we almost got it. I almost got it. Strategy, you know? This is a tool you take too. There we go. Let's get into the video. Apparently, these balls are specifically for women, because you know, even the golf clubs, the weight is different for women and men. And so I don't know why particularly there's a difference in women's and male golf balls, but that's a fun fact right there. As you get onto your journey of scaling, of growing your startup or your company, don't underscore the importance of marketing and PR, because you can have a great product but nobody using that product. And so it's important for you to foster a relationship with your audience as soon as you can, because it helps build your trust, your credibility, and establish yourself as a thought leader in the space or whatever space that you're in. Nice. That one felt good. Now, to achieve traction without having to break the bank, one of the most important things that you need to do for you to scale is to build valuable connections. This is how, in my experience trying to grow tech companies, or my Tech Story Africa itself, we've been able to manage to build some form of traction, acquisition, or follower growth, depending on what goal you have. We've been able to do that successfully. Now, what does building connections look like? One of my guests, Gerald Black, when he was on the podcast, one of the most valuable things he said was, you're only one conversation away from meeting someone who's going to change your life. Collaborate with someone where you have mutual benefits with. So for My Tech Story Africa, our collaborations will look like the people we decide to have on our platform as guests, the brand partnerships that we secure, the proposals that I send to people who I want to work with are always tied to something that we're mutually benefiting. So building valuable connections is key. The second thing that you're going to need to do is build a sense of FOMO for your audience. Your audience needs to feel throughout the entire process that they are missing out on something great by not following you, by not downloading your platform, by not subscribing to whatever it is that you're doing. Now, how do you build a sense of FOMO? It needs to start from the beginning. Before your product has already even launched, they need to fall in love with the story that you're sharing. Take it as when you're going to an investor meeting. Most of the times you're not really selling what you're doing, but you're selling the vision, one, and two, the solution to the problem that you're trying to solve for. And that does not change when you're talking to audiences. One of the podcasts and shows that I admire the most, it's called Startup Podcast, and it's by Gimlet Media, which was there active in 2014, 2015. And one of the things that for them changed their life, or rather the trajectory of their business, was that they were able to document, audio documentation of the work that they were doing from the time they were having conversations with his co-founder. From the time he was even acquiring his co-founder, Alex Bloomberg also documented his entire journey and his emotions that he was experiencing throughout their entire process and did a whole pilot season of 10 episodes. What I can say is that Gimlet Media right now was acquired for about $40 million by Spotify. And that tells you a lot about the power of capturing your audience's attention, creating a sense of FOMO, and allowing them to follow along the journey from start to finish. You need to onboard a communication specialist as early as you can. I'm here to tell you right now, if this is a myth that I need to debunk, that great products don't always finish fast, okay? Empty debits makes the most noises is what we say, and I think that saying can translate in this context. And so one of my biggest pro tips, and I think one of the reasons why one of our clients was able to be successful to the capacity it is now, is because they were able to have me as part of their team before their product even launched. And we were able, for the 2-3 years we were working with them, we were able to acquire up to 200,000 plus people, users, through user acquisition strategies, through content marketing user acquisition strategies that were seemingly successful. And it wasn't anything special. It wasn't because people knew what product we were selling. If anything, we're selling a fintech product, but it was able to be known, and everywhere would go, someone would stop us, and we were able to be known because of the kind of content and organic content marketing that we were able to produce. And I would relate that to giving the time to the marketer themselves to understand the product, because we're also not magicians. We need to know what we're marketing, and for that to happen, we need a bit of time to understand the product. And so onboarding someone early on is key. We're almost at the final shot. Can I really part from here? Okay, there we go. Build your digital marketing channels well and create viral loops if you can. Social media marketing in this day and age is a must and not a suggestion, especially if you have a B2C kind of facing model. And I mean, in as much as you're gonna use the social media platforms and do it really well, because you will have onboarded a marketing person early on into the journey. 2, you need to figure out ways to create viral loops. And if not viral loops, you can opt to go the direction of distributing so much content that out of 10, at least 2 of them are likely to be viral. I've been able to create, for example, a TikTok that is least expected to go viral, but got 1 million views. And it was a TikTok about me matching my colleague at work. And so don't be shy in veering away from talking constantly about your product. People don't want to know about the product, but they want to know about the experience they feel while they use your product. And so having a bit of experiential marketing and keeping in mind how we can get virality or get the content to move. It could be through working with influencers. It could be that you create a podcast, a branded show, which is something that we do on My Tech Story Africa. We would do a branded special segment for you, for your brand, and you're going to be able to have perhaps 10 episodes worth of content, and you're able to cut that content into bits and bobs of pieces that you can use on TikTok to go viral. Understand the different platforms and what their different offering is. You don't have to be in each and every one of them, just the ones that are important for your target audience. You see what happened there? That's a representation of how your team performs when you have a marketing team on board early on and when you don't. That ball would have entered inside the water if we didn't have the PR and marketing to support it. You might be asking yourself, why am I suddenly on here talking about all these marketing and acquisition strategies and PR strategies you need to be implementing? It's because My Tech Story Africa is expanding, or rather, My Tech Story Africa has expanded. And right now, My Tech Story Africa is for the tech companies that want to break through the noise to powerful narrative and data-driven strategies. So whether you want to create special branded content, whether you want help with content marketing strategies, whether you want to get better at user acquisition or ads tracking and monitoring, perhaps you want to get into paid acquisition models and being able to identify which ones are the best for your organization, then look no further. I think it was time for us to expand. Instead of just telling stories about the amazing things that are happening within the tech landscape through founders and ecosystem players, our way of being on the ground is actually helping these tech startups share the individual stories, take ownership of their narratives, and be able to get the masses to know about what's happening in the tech landscape through their products or through anything else. And I believe in the power that technology has in transforming economies, and I do believe technology has power in transforming our Africa through the amazing things that are happening across the continent. We just need more people to know about them. So this was just an interlude, but we will be going back to regular programming of our episodes from next week. So make sure you tune into My Tech Story Africa every single Wednesday, Thursday, or weekday. There's probably 1 or 2 videos that are dropping on our YouTube, Spotify, or any of the major platforms. We're also on social media, so make sure you check us out there and be ready for more surprises in terms of the guests that we have, the locations that we're shooting, the podcast, the branded shows that you'll be engaging with. And yeah, if you think that you can beat me at this game, which likely you can, hit me up, but hit us up at mtsafrica.co/business or mtsafrica.co. You'll be able to see on there what we're up to. We have a brand new website, which is going to be fantastic for you to have a look at. Our website was built in partnership with Division, and so have a look at it and let me know what you think. Let's hit this ball to close this off. Too late. Still too late. Kutangulia si kushinda. Pole pole ndio mwendo. Hey. Consistency and not giving up. How about that? Okay guys, my name is Alice Kanjejo. It's been lovely sharing these insights with you. Make sure you tune into our episodes, hit us up for business inquiries, and I shall see you in the next one. Cheers.